here we are. That's the go live button for sure. Oh, there it is. It says that we are live for the May 2024 Westlake Charter School Board Meeting. Board President Golick, you have the YouTubes.
Thank you. For those watching at home, please remember you can make a public comment by emailing us at admin@westlakecharter.com. We ask that you put in the subject line the item in which you're making a comment, and then limit your response to 250 words. We'll make every effort to read it in during the meeting, and if not, we'll make it part of our minutes. We also have one just piece of business to take care of before we begin the meeting. Item, let's see, 8A will be pulled from the agenda, and we'll be dealing with that at the June meeting. With that, Amy, will you please take the roll?
Yes. Hope.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Josh. Meredith.
Here.
Amber.
Here.
Suzanne. Nurali.
Here.
Amy.
Here.
Ann. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Celebrations.
All right, who wants to kick it off? Amy Rice.
I'll celebrate teacher appreciation and just all of the yummy food and the sweet little gifts. I call them penguin pebbles. Do you know what those are?
No, what's a penguin pebble?
Penguins give each other little rocks to like show that they love each other or whatever. And so my students have been bringing me little penguin pebbles all week, little bracelets that they've made, or like tissue paper flowers and art. So it's just been wonderful. I love being a teacher, but when you get like that much love, you know, it's like love bombing, you're like, oh. So it's been a wonderful week.
I love it. Sean, Houston?
Oh.
Yep.
So I'll celebrate sort of winding down to the end of the year. I've got an 8th grade promoter and a 12th grade graduator this year. And so those are both coming up in the next month. And it's exciting.
It's an exciting time of your house. I love it. A.W. playing?
Yeah. Yes. The kinders this year, some of them are on the big playground and some are on the little playground. And watching their growth from the beginning of the year when it was just kind of like the Hunger Games to now where they're playing structured games of Foursquare. And watching these littles navigate how to play Foursquare and where the lines are and all the things, just it's just cute. And one of them today told me, Miss Wells, they don't always listen to me, so we need a grown-up mommy. Can you come over here? And I was like, sure. So it's fun. It's fun to see the growth at this point in the year with the kinders.
I love it.
They just always make me laugh.
It's quite a journey. August to June as a kindergartner. It's a journey. I will celebrate. I did not build a slide for this, but I did want to acknowledge it out loud. And I didn't build a slide because I don't know if it feels like it's bragging or not. But I'm just going. Do you want this up? You want to take it?
I was going to do that one for you, so you didn't seem braggy, but go ahead.
Well, I was too late now. Now I am braggy. So Intercom High School, which is a fantastic high school right down the street. I'm not sure if you heard of it. They had their graduating class. They produced the top 30. Who are the top 30 students in the class, academically, performance-wise. And of those top 30 students, there are 23% of them, or 7 of them, that are Westlake Charter School students who, we didn't have a high school for them to go to. And so when I think about that, well, when those kids were in kindergarten, they represented more or less 10% of the whole district. So you think, oh, well, 10% of the district and 23% of the top 30 were out punching our weight class. But in reality, not every one of our 8th graders went to Intercom. We know 8th graders that went lots of different places. So it's an even smaller pool that's out punching their weight class. I'm just very proud of our students as they make it to senior year, and where they're at and how they're performing and how they're representing our school. And in this case, our academic, performance and readiness.
I'm just going to actually build on that.
Yeah, you got. Oh, I left that one for you.
Thank you. The second piece to that wonderful award ceremony that happened earlier this week was that a former explorer, Brenda Henderson, was selected class salutatorian, also at Intercom this year. So we're very well represented. I'm super proud of her, and I hope everyone can celebrate her. If you happen to run into the Hendersons, to let them know, because it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'll celebrate moms out there. It's Mother's Day coming up here, and with the May time of year, I don't know how your calendars are, but I feel like mine, every time I turn around, I'm like, wait, what event that I didn't somehow have on the calendar? So a big shout out to all the moms out there who are making it work for their families and doing that whiteboard calendar or that Google calendar or whatever it is, and just, coming to all the community events that we invite you to so lovingly this time of year.
Love it.
I'm going to do parent celebration. So I want to celebrate all of our Westlake parents because I think there's two big events that happened. One was the International Festival. It was amazing. It was my first time participating as a parent in a family, and it was so cool meeting other families from my country that I've never met here, and really just connecting with other families generally, and really seeing that like relationship building across campus at a parent level. That was amazing. And then I also wanted to celebrate parents kind of putting together this like whole teacher appreciation week. Tony, I know you've led a lot with WAVE, and I think that's just being able to appreciate our teachers, like Ms. Rice mentioned. It's amazing, and really it's the parent involvement that really steps up. So I wanted to celebrate all the parents out there.
Love it, love it. Mr. Corbin, what are you celebrating?
I'm going to build on that too, actually. So, Staff Appreciation Week has been a really big hit around campus, both campuses. So, shout out, thank you to WAVE. Thank you to the parents as well. But also the partnerships. We had Kona Ice come over. We had a couple food trucks as well. So, it's everybody, right? It's the community that comes out to celebrate staff. So, just it's been a great week.
Amber.
So mine is the same kind of topic, but one of my favorite things is when we do the notes of appreciation to staff members. So I sat down with all of my kids this week and I was like, okay, who do you want to send something to? And hearing like my 10th grader say, I need to thank this teacher that he had many years ago, just that, and he said like every year I look forward to thanking you. Just he wrote this lovely note and just talking to them, going through their teachers that they've had over the years and other staff members on campus who they've interacted with, have had a positive impact on them. It's just lovely.
Yeah, not to let the cat out of the bag. Tomorrow morning, it seems that there will be just over 2,000 little individual notes of appreciation mail merged into each staff member's individual email, which is amazing. I mean, that's 2,000 people clicked submit and said something nice. It's pretty epic. It's pretty epic. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. I do the mail merge. It comes to me, and I go, oh, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, that was celebrations.
So any board comments for items not on the agenda? Seeing none, that takes us to public comments. And Ms. Ashley Cahigas, is anybody at the high school wanting to make a public comment?
So I'm in a different office, so I just have to go look. Just one second.
Thanks, Cahigas. Yes.
While she goes and looks, John, do we have any emails?
I will take a look right now.
We'll multitask.
That's right. I'll scroll over here and look at that. There you go.
There is no one outside waiting to make a public comment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keegas. And there are no public comments in the email inbox.
Perfect. So with that, we'll go ahead and go on to reports and the WAVE report. Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's been a really fun week, and I love hearing the celebrations. I'm going to build on that too. I love this community. We've had such a fun year. All of these events, people have really come through, with staff appreciation. We had so many donations and just so much support. And Narali, you were huge this week, like you were my rock. So thank you so much. International Festival, so fun. Anybody that listens, I try to tell them, I'm like, we have a very multicultural school. Like, let me tell you about it. We have this awesome festival. I think we had like 20 countries. Is that what it was? 21 countries represented. A lot of new families. And we didn't have our regular ones either, and we were kind of disappointed. Like, we liked our Mexican booths, but then the ones that came was like, whoa, this is so much better. So it was just so fun all the way around. A lot of people there, a lot of happy faces. So
good.
Staff appreciation has been super successful, and we still have one more day. We did a wellness retreat for both campuses, and I'd been looking forward to that all year. So it was very successful, and we had a lot of calm and peaceful staff members this week, so I think it went well. I think that's it.
Excellent. Thank you for all that. It's been a great week, and International Festival was on fire. It was great.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Let's see, chart impact instead of meeting. We had homework to go back and sort of basically getting caught up, watching presentations that John has done in order to make sure we have the information we need to just figure out what are the next steps that we're going to be watching in terms of the next charter approval in 2028. That date, I think it's done shifting, but it shifted so many times.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It's been fun to track. And then development, Josh isn't here, so we met and
Nerali?
she wasn't here either.
Oh, you weren't here. I thought you were going to tell about all the celebrations.
At the last meeting, we were really focused on Big Day of Giving, and we went through the Explorer partner list and identified sources that we thought would be, good places to go and say, hey, we've done a lot of work with you. Could you please see about supporting us? And I believe we're close to $3,000?
Let's take a look.
4,300.
Oh, that's the wrong. My fault.
You just hit that. You can just hit
Hit
that
this
button.
guy here, huh? This one? No,
No,
this
it's
one here.
that one, yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I don't have my glasses.
It works. So
Hey,
$4,300. When I looked, it was at 28.
Hey, good job, you guys. That's awesome.
So definitely the most successful campaign that the development committee has had. So if you see Josh, make sure to congratulate him as well. So I'm sure their next meeting will be going over the success of that and how those conversations worked and how to move that forward so it's repeatable again.
It's okay to shout out Nerali Patel for some of the
Yes,
work that
that's
she did
you.
on that. Am I not supposed to?
You know.
I think it's really interesting. We have a long history of building these Explorer partners, these vendors that we work with, and they're in the platform. But Nerali went one step further and kind of looked through all of our old board agendas and looked at our master contracts, and then kind of cross-pollinated the master contract to our Explorer partner list and be like, hey, these are vendors who might be interested in jamming with us, and was able to bring in a lot of Big Day giving donations just with a little bit of rolling up the sleeves and getting to work. So yeah, good job.
I certainly appreciate those that have that skill.
Yeah.
Just gonna own that, yeah. Finance, didn't meet, so we'll skip that one. Governance, we did meet tonight. We reviewed and we'll have updates to you in June for 3 policies. The credit use policy, I'm gonna get this wrong right now.
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, I knew. I was trying to get through the one I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't know first. Purchasing, thank you. And then
Limitations on
seclusion.
seclusion and restriction.
Yeah. So those will all be coming forward to the board in June for a discussion and adoption. With that, John, it's your report.
All right. Just looking at the owl. Love this new owl. Thank you, Jessica Block, for setting up the owl. We're loving it. All right, let's have a little fun. I think I've got a shortish report. I say that. Coming in, I thought it was short. Let's start with some celebrations. So much good stuff happened this week. Honestly, I know Ms. Rice already spoke to it. We've already spoken to it. But, honestly, the Staff Appreciation Week, Poncho today said, I think I've been overfed. I think I'm stuffed. Maybe one more cookie. Just one more cookie. It was hilarious. We've been barbecuing, and we've been having taco trucks, we've been having Kona ice, and it's just been great. Everywhere you turn, there's, just a little token of, there's a penguin pebble. Everywhere you turn, and it's great. It's great, and the week continues on. Yesterday, we had the K-12 High-Speed Network Board here. They are a board of directors that oversee the K-12 High-Speed Network, the internet. The K-12 internet is different than the general public internet, and these are the people that oversee that. And on that board sits one of our own, Mrs. Jessica Block. Several years back, when the board had an open seat, some people reached out and said, "Hey, who do you know?" And Jessica Block ended up in the seat, so she serves on that board monthly. And they were looking for a place to hold an in-person meeting, which they don't do often. And since we're located in Sacramento, and several of these people are at the California Department of Education, it was held right here in this room. And the photographer right here, taking their picture, is absolutely one of the coolest kids you'll ever meet. And he just walked over and was like, "Hey, how y'all doing? You guys new here? You here for the barbecue?" It was awesome. I was like, "Hey, you mind being our photographer?" "No problem, Dr. Ike." I tell you what, it was awesome. So it was nice to have visitors on campus. Took them on a tour, and I played the game I always play, which is, what do you notice? What do you wonder? And your kids are so engaged, and your staff are so kind. These are the two things they noticed. Every adult we bumped into was kind and smiling and gracious and like, how can we help? And every kid that we observed was like super plugged into whatever was happening. And we went to kindergarten and to 8th grade and up and down the hall, and they got a chance. And these are, one of these people is a superintendent of a large school district in Southern California. One of these people is a superintendent of a large county Office of Education in Southern California. Several of them, Christina Mattis is out of San Francisco. So, really diverse board, and they recognize your school as being amazing. Speaking of amazing, you can zoom in and shed a little tear here. Our very first prom, super successful. Anything that Mrs. Grimaldi touches is like a signature event, and this was, of course, a total signature event. I know Mrs. Kleiman and Mrs. Street both attended, and were like, this is the event of the season. They were like, this was it, man. It was so great. So everybody loved prom. Our kids had a great time, and they were, as always, Westlake Charter students are like just spectacular humans. Like somebody laughed, one of the adults who was chaperoning laughed and said, like, it's prom. You expect something to kind of go sideways. Like the worst thing that happened was 3 girls stood on the grass. Like, oh, there's no standing on the grass. Like, oh, we're so sorry. We stood on the grass. Oh my, can we clean up after? Yeah, it was like amazing. Our kids are the best. Oh, thanks, Cahigas. Yes, Cahigas put this picture in here. So if your class is working on a behavioral reward chart and you earn all your blue dots for working on your behavior, you can have lunch with an administrator. This goofy administrator got selected to go to Miss Robin Harold Jones's class, and I brought my guitar. And at one point, they did a conga line around me, and I'm telling you what, it was, look at how happy I am. That was the best part of my whole month right there. But the celebration really should be, there's these little behavioral charts are all over campus, and people are earning rewards. You'll see kids, hey, we want a pajama day. You got it. We want lunch with some goofy guy with a guitar. You got it. We want, 5 minutes extra of research. You got it. And it's really, it's the end of the year. We're still constantly reinforcing with positive behavior, like the little tickets for CASP. This was amazing, I know, because my own child went on this. Sierra Outdoor Schools was obviously a home run this year. Thank you, board, for supporting this 2-night overnight field lesson. And big shout out to all the staff and the parents who made it happen. It's well attended by our parents as volunteers, but of course our incredible staff went and chaperoned our kids up at Sierra Outdoor Schools. So much fun. Big deal. This is the deepest we've ever made it in the playoffs, right? Our girls made it in the second round of soccer in the playoffs. That's the deepest playoff run we've ever had. And boys volleyball made playoffs. So really super successful, you guys. We still, remember, we don't have seniors. And our athletics are incredibly successful. We had one, I think we talked about swimming last time, missing it by 0.4. We had a swimmer miss it by 0.4 seconds. Anyway, big shout out to our athletics program and everyone involved. The 8th grade DC New York field trip made it back safely and had a fantastic time. Everyone who was involved in that, Mackie and all of our staff who attended, so much love. You've been on that trip. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. And then CASP testing. Our theme this year is prepare to be amazed. And so on the first day, your principal of your K-8 campus is in a circus outfit, standing on a stage, prepare to be amazed. And thematically, hey, never pass the opportunity to have a good, a theme. So, it's a circus theme, but honestly, we're doing lots of cool little stuff. The rewards tickets, the raffles, the drawings, the engagement. We had a student at the high school cry because she thought maybe she hadn't tried hard enough. We're like, you tried more. You're great. I mean, kids are invested. It seems like it's going well. Right? I love that everybody works hard, not just around the academic part, but around the social emotional part of it, making it a thing. College week, huge success. Talk about engagement. Like super successful college week in this particular capstone event where all the booths and the kids are walking around. Really cool, man. Really cool event. I think it's highlighted by each grade level getting to go to visit a college, right? This college going culture that we're trying to build at the high school really shows when you go to this particular event and watch. The kids aren't just like, hey, hanging out. Like, people were really plugged in and shopping it out and talking about, colleges. And this is the belle of the ball, right? The 19th annual Westlake Charter School International Festival, knowing that next year is our 20th year as a school. It will be our 20th annual International Festival, and what an absolute success. I mean, every year the pictures are amazing, but, this year having new people kind of being part of the lead of that must have been terrifying, but I think it was an absolute success. And the last one is, if you could see, here's Angelique Ashby, and here is our students included in a group of students selected as future inspiring adults. So just cool to have our kids included in an award produced by our Senator Angelique Ashby. All right, on to some strategic actions. I think I got 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're going to talk about just end of the year planning and execution of activities. We're talking staffing for next year, and we're talking some facility plans and planning. Let's dive in. Lots going on here at the end of the year, right? All these things happening. You talked about, what happened to my calendar? There's something every night. I looked at the K-8 principal's calendar for next week, looking for an evening. I was like, 3 night events next week. So, open house coming up and all the things. But very exciting, right? We're in CASP testing, staff appreciation, prom just happened, but high school course selection is in full swing. The master schedule is buttoning up very nicely. We're doing class formation at the K-8 for next year, but open houses are just around the corner, and I would encourage everyone to be here if you could. Swing on by an open house near you. Obviously, field lessons, field day, and 8th grade promotion, which I'm hoping everyone's been invited to. You received an invitation? No. Note to self. Got it. All right. Sorry. Any questions about the end of the year? Did I miss anything? No. Super exciting. Staffing for the 24-25. So we have 4.5 positions open. The 0.5 is a halftime PE. So we had interviews today. I have a couple offers, I think, in the works right now. So that 4.5 might go down to 2.5 next day or two. So we feel pretty good about that. But critical positions, we've got a kindergarten position open, which is always a big deal for us because the amazing Whitney Ashman is going to leave kindergarten and become our new art teacher as Coda Sandiford is heading off into her brilliant career. She is moving into college professorship. So really cool stuff happening down on that side of campus, but that kinder position's a critical one. Staffing at the high school, English, Spanish, elective, and ed specialist. Lots. Why did that beep? Don't run on a battery computer. No, you're plugged in. Okay. A lot going on in the high school master schedule. We've been building it as we go. We have this one last opportunity to do this capstone. Okay, you build this master schedule, and it should not rinse and repeat, but those should be the courses. Looking for a Spanish teacher because the amazing Abby Grimaldi is more moving into the leadership direction. She loves leadership. She went to Castle. She wants to run with leadership a little deeper. So we worked out the master schedule. If we pick up a Spanish teacher, that'll work out for us. English elective and education specialist. And I have one more announcement. I don't know if you heard, but the amazing Allison Chavez, our K-8 assistant principal, is leaving at the end of the year. So we had interviews, and we had incredible candidates, all internal candidates. Very challenging to make a decision because every candidate was phenomenal. But I'd like to celebrate none other than, oh, really? How embarrassing. It's not clicking. Just a moment. There we go. Exciting opportunity for our K-8 assistant principal, Mrs. Jessica Block. Very excited. Hey, she brings just an incredible resume, right, with that primary experience on the K-3 side of the house, but also understanding digital curriculum, physical curriculum, implementation, change matrices. She's got a great resume or portfolio of leadership already. She's led so many great things at her school, so she's going to be a real asset as a newest administrator. Updates. Sorry, was there any questions about staffing, master schedule at the high school, any of the things? I think it's this Diet Coke I'm just talking super fast. Financial report to NUSD and our facilities update. Financial report, just want to let you know, typically our board meeting falls after that one, and we always show a little picture of me and Steve up at the board meeting. But our board report to the Natomas Unified School District is next week on May 15th. Our financials look incredibly healthy, so we know that we will be seeking a positive certification, meeting obligations for the current plus 2 years going forward. And we'll report back if anything goes sideways. I mean, we typically get a list of questions to answer, but we may not this year. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's stuff. Yeah. So regardless, we will report back, and we'll bring a picture back of us standing at the diocese, which I always love.
I can't attend this year, so if any other board members would like to attend and capture said picture John just referenced for me, I would
It's
really
great.
appreciate it.
It's great. It's great.
Next Wednesday. Oh, it's always, does it align with retiring staff again?
Well, yeah, you probably won't make it because it's in the middle of open house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in that bit. And it's always a little tricky because it usually lines up with retirement, this retirement celebration, and so you go and it's great because you get to see people, but you wait and we're a W, so. Oh, we're third. We're always third.
I never realized it was alpha. I thought it was best for last. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I grew up as a W, so I.
That's right. That's Wilton. Yeah. I only put the picture on the side here because Keeg has put it together, and I thought, well, they'll be more interested in that than actually what I'm going to be talking about. So that is how the turnaround is going to be looking at the East Commerce facility. We used to go up the yellow arrows all the way back here and do the turnaround and drop your kid and then come out. But now there's going to be a fence right here, and so it turns out you can just turn around right here. I just thought I'd bring it up because somebody asked it 2 board meetings ago, and I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. What do I know? Now we have a picture. Now I know. All right. Campus updates. We have the K-8 campus. Just an interesting piece right here. Our FUA language includes a pathway to request maintenance, which may not seem like a big deal to you. You may be like, haven't you always had that pathway? We have now built into the FUA a review, and really Steve did a great job of this piece, pulling this into the FUA, a review process where we will sit with the district every year, once per year, and say, hey, what's on the docket this year for deferred maintenance? You guys are thinking about maybe doing a little this and a little that. Hey, can we take this and that and punt on those for a year and instead paint the doors? And so that's the type of process we'll be having. We've never had that process. In our old campuses, we have not had on this campus yet, but that is how it's been described to me, so we're super excited about it, being able to have an annual discussion about deferred maintenance and what we should be working on. The high school short-term facility, as y'all know, the portables back here are coming in, and they're coming in fast, as soon as possibly the 26th of this month. Yeah, I mean, that's wild. So they got to get them in there so they can trench, and then they can do the electrical and do all the things. But, yes, before this school year is out, portables will be back there, and it's super exciting. It's happening, and we are pretty sure it's all going to be plugged in and ready to go by the first day of school. Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, right. What could go wrong? So we'll be expanding the Oasis. We're super excited about that. We're working on some design plans for what we could do with this extra space out here and expand the Oasis. And then long-term facility, the Natomas Unified School District Facility Master Plan, or FMP, is coming soon. We believe that it comes out in their next board meeting, the 15th. We think. Well, we're not sure. However, it is. I've had an opportunity to speak with the folks who are building it out, and it's coming together. And we should be able to get a preview of it when it hits their board agenda, and we should be included in it. In our FUA, as you'll recall, we have language that says that our parcel of land will be named the future permanent home of Westlake Charter High School campus in their FMP, and we have every reason to believe that that's coming to fruition because that's what they've told us. So they've said it's in there. Got it. It's in there. So that is coming together. And NUSD received methodology and results related to a voter. There we go. Voter opinion survey. I was like, what does that sentence say? Yeah. So at the last NUSD board meeting, they received the results from that poll, from that opinion poll regarding, hey, would you pass a bond? Should we float a bond? We still don't know. Like, we haven't seen it. So we will wait on the edge of our seat and see what happens. They have to do it by the June board meeting. So and even based on watching their meeting, it wasn't like a home run.
Well, my 18-year-old received it, so.
The survey. I know, but just watching them talk about the survey, the board, it didn't feel like a slam dunk.
No, it's always luck, right? It's luck on who gets it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Any questions about facilities team? Super duper. And I apologize. We did put the facility use agreement on tonight's agenda because there was some hopes that we would actually get it back from all the legals by today, but it just didn't come to fruition. So it's my fault. We probably should have not put it on there originally, but we were hopeful that maybe we could get it to you guys by today. But all things being equal, we've already talked to NUSD. They're really comfortable with us seeing it in June, or bring it here in June before their June board meeting.
just always blame the lawyers, Sean, it's easier.
I'm blaming the lawyers. It's good. Okay. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Perfect. Before we go through adopting the consent agenda, possibly, can we just make sure if there are any public comments?
I see no public comments.
Perfect. So we have items A through F on the consent agenda for tonight. Are there any board questions related to these items, or is there a motion to approve?
I will move the consent agenda.
Thank you, Sean. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Nerali.
Hope,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Meredith,
Yes.
Amber,
Yes.
Nurali.
Yes.
Perfect. Sorry, when it gets coffee end, my brain's just like firing, waiting for Ann.
Did you call Amy?
Did you call Amy Rice?
Yeah, you did not.
Because she's not
Amy
H.
Rice?
She's not listed there.
Yes. She's totally listed there, you just don't see it.
It's okay. Ann wasn't at the top, so we have a,
Hands at the
we were just having some issues. It happens.
Ann's right under Amy.
Not on the copy in the packet.
Okay, move on.
And my imagination can't go there.
Not in front of the owl.
As Dr. Ike alluded to, we are not taking action again on item 8A this evening, so that will take us to item 9A, the 24-25 Local Control Accountability Plan Draft Review. How many changes were there this year, Steve?
A lot. There's always a lot. I think the state board of ed's like primary focus of the job is to make changes to the LCAP template. Do you mind driving?
I'm driving.
You're driving? Okay. Okay, so what is the LCAP, you may ask? So the LCAP is the Local Control Accountability Plan. When the state changed how they funded schools over a decade ago, they created a local control funding formula. And with that, they tied it together with an accountability plan. So they're giving LEAs, districts and charters, more flexibility on how to spend funds. And with that, they said, well, we need to make sure that there's some accountability behind how that's getting done. So they created this LCAP, and they have updated the LCAP templates every year consistently for the past plus years. So schools must follow the template. It's very prescriptive, which is, has benefits, right? It's very clean and transparent, and everyone follows the same methodology on when it's posted, right? So if a parent says, has kids in different districts, or you want to review different plans and things like that, there is something kind of consistent.
And I think that's the piece that I always appreciate, and I say this with sarcasm, is the fact that you're trying to deal with the LCAP and the budget at the same time, when it feels like logically having those spread out a little might be better for the workload of two people in this room. So I appreciate all the effort you've put into bringing the LCAP together at the same time you're trying to do the budget.
Yeah, and there's a new law where you may remember.
Of course there is.
The mid-year LCAP update.
Oh, yeah.
Now the consistent thing will happen as well. So
Yeah.
that will be each December, January-ish.
Yeah.
And then you get the actual update I think each June.
So not once, but twice.
Right?
Which is good because it does provide a lot of valuable information to our parents and our community and everything else. And so I don't mean to make light of that. It's just timing is everything sometimes. With that, that brings us to future agenda items. Just remember, June is a big meeting, right? Because we'll have budget on, we'll have LCAP on, we'll have at least 3 policies on. So it won't be, this meeting is surprisingly short. It will be longer than this one, I would suspect. So we'll get it in the packet as soon as we can, so you have plenty of time to review.
I'm assuming we also have the FUA
Yes.
in June.
I didn't want to overpromise, no joking.
Yeah.
And with that reflection, what worked well or what would be better if? Who would like to start?
I'll
Sean,
start with
thank
the
you.
obvious. This is, I think, possibly the shortest board meeting I've ever attended in my, 11 years on the board. So, but yet we still learned a lot of things and did a lot of stuff. So that's always appreciated.
I should have added some more slides.
Presentation overview.
I'll do it backwards.
Yeah.
Just lost a chunk of the
Right,
agenda.
you want to go? What worked well? What would work better if?
Yeah, I really enjoyed your celebrations that you shared as like at the beginning of your report, because I feel like each of us, at least as teachers or staff members, it can be very easy to feel kind of siloed and like, oh, I see like my little section of the world, my little slice of the pie. But being able to see all of the amazing things that are going on in the larger school community, I just really appreciate being able to sit in this room and see the pictures and hear the things and knowing, like, I knew some of those things, I was a part of some of those things, but like just seeing how incredible our parent community is, the wider, the business communities that are supporting us, the students are phenomenal. And the staff and the board member, like, it's a really, really special place to step back and look at.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate your celebrations.
Now,
Thank you.
this place from the 40,000 foot is a
Yes.
great view.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for that 40,000 foot view tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Houston, what worked well or what would have worked better if?
Kind of similar. I really enjoyed the staffing update because I think it's cool to hear about staff members aren't necessarily mostly leaving, they're moving to different spots. And I think that's pretty cool to see some of that positive movement and people finding a new spot to be, and so we can bring in some new faces.
Yeah, it's just, I would love to, I mean, it wouldn't bore you. You'd love it, but I should bring out our staffing doc because it is a little puzzle. You're like, oh yeah, so-and-so might slide up to the middle school and so-and-so is, and that person just became an assistant principal. And you start moving people around, and even the people who leave the organization, like Coda Sandiford, what an awesome celebration, right? She's going to kind of fulfill her dream of, working higher ed, and you're like, yeah, you go. So that's cool. People move around, and it's good. Steve, you want to play? What worked well? What would have worked better if?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things on consent, right? A trip to Santa Cruz for the juniors and a trip down to Los Angeles for some of the athletic teams, right, involved. So I think that was a great thing. And then by the next time this board reconvenes, we will have seniors, which is pretty phenomenal.
That's wild.
Which is great, yeah. So
That's cool.
That's it, yeah.
Love it.
Steve kind of took what I was going to say, which is I just love seeing those 2 consent items that related to Santa Cruz and the team. It's just athletics is such a big part of our school, and I love that we do focus on it from that perspective in a high school level. So I know it's already specific to our board meeting, but as always, the detailed work that goes into all the consent items and the briefs really help kind of expedite these meetings. So I will thank you for that.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll just echo what everyone else has said. I think visuals are always super helpful. It's great to see kids having a good time and, you know, really digging what they're doing and, you know, being part of a school culture that they enjoy. So that's always fun. And I too, this is the shortest, like, maybe meeting ever. So that's kind of cool.
For me, I mean, even though it was a short meeting, approving the handbook for next year and, I mean, with finance, you know, making sure we're set on audit services, which is, you know, not the funnest of subjects, but that we're still doing our essential work. It's important. That's why we had to still meet, even though it's a short meeting.
What worked well for me, I really like the new camera, but I'm actually going to, I'm going to shout out Tony Elgamil. I just like having our WAVE president in the room. I think it's, we demonstrate what's possible in school and community collaborate, and we as a board see this organization from different vantage points, but having our partner WAVE show up in the room is a big deal for me. I mean, we're on a weekly podcast together. We're always jamming, but this room's a special room. We take our responsibility super seriously, and to have our partners from WAVE join us here in person is a big deal. You want to play?
Do I get to wrap it up and bring it home?
Bring it home, A-Dub.
Should I really like draw this on?
This was the shortest meeting until.
Shortest meeting until Amy talked. I really agree with Amy Rice. It's good to see a whole bunch of celebrations captured that I don't necessarily get to participate in or that I get to see. We're all kind of siloed, and it's such a busy time at this time of year that it's just kind of breathes a little bit of life to kind of push us over the finish line. So I also appreciate your celebrations, everyone.
Love it.
So with that, we will adjourn at 7:15.
Okay, well, thanks, everybody.